She didn't see me. But I saw everything. And now, I can't unsee it. Her hands on his shirt. That laugh. His lips brushing her ear while she squatted down, his hands planted firmly on her hips like she was his and always had been. It started with something stupid. I wanted to surprise her. Things between us had been off. Distance in our conversations. Quick kisses, hollow smiles. So I decided to do something. I thought, join a gym, quietly. Get in shape. Show up in a month with a new spark. Reignite something. I didn't know which gym she went to. She'd never mentioned the name. Just, my trainer, my sessions, my schedule. So I walked into one close to my office, signed up for a free trial, and hopped on a treadmill. 15 minutes in, sweat dripping down my back, I looked up, and froze. It was her. At first I wasn't sure. But the way she moved, the shape of her back, that small scar on her shoulder, I knew. Ashley. And she wasn't alone. Some guy was behind her. Muscular. Confident. Wearing a sleeveless compression shirt like it was painted on. His hands were on her waist as she lifted a barbell. Not adjusting her form. Not spotting. Holding her. She smiled at him, open, soft. She leaned back into him between reps like it was second nature. Like they'd done this 100 times. Then he whispered something in her ear. She laughed and smacked his chest playfully. He kissed her. No hesitation. No looking around. And she kissed him back. Not a nervous glance. Not a slip. Just lips on lips, like it was the most natural thing in the world. I stood still, tucked behind a squat rack, half shielded from their view. They didn't see me. But I saw enough. They started walking toward the private stretching room. His hand slid to the small of her back. She didn't stop him. I left my towel. My bottle. The keycard. Walked straight out the door into the open parking lot. My legs were heavy, like I'd been running for miles. The air outside felt fake, thin, too bright. And in my chest, something cracked. Not exploded. Cracked. Quiet. Slow. Like a fault line waking up. I drove home in silence. Didn't turn on the radio. Didn't cry. Just stared through the windshield like I'd forgotten how to blink. When I got inside, the house looked the same. Her shoes by the door. Her water bottle on the counter. Her scent in the air. But none of it felt real anymore. Then I saw her tablet. Unlocked. Open. I'd never gone through her stuff before. Never felt the need. But tonight, my fingers moved on instinct. Swipe. Photos. Videos. Texts. Her in a bathroom mirror, wrapped in a towel that wasn't ours. Him in the background brushing his teeth, shirtless, grinning like he'd won a prize. Messages with pet names I'd never heard. Plans. Complaints about me. He's sweet, but boring. Still thinks we're just going through a rough patch. No hesitation. No guilt. She didn't trip and fall into a mistake. She built a new life behind my back and left the lights on for him. And now? Now I wasn't angry. Not yet. I was something worse. I was awake. I didn't confront her. Not yet. That's what she expected, a blow-up. A shouting match. Maybe even me begging. But I wasn't going to give her that. No. I was going to take my time. Because if she was going to gut our life from the inside out, I was going to dismantle hers, brick by brick. The first step was information. I spent the weekend doing what I never thought I'd do in my marriage, become a ghost in my own home. Watching her. Studying her routines. Not with suspicion. With calculation. She still texted him, only now, she did it from her iPad in the bathroom while the shower ran. I installed screen mirroring software. She never noticed. Most of it was worse than I expected. Pet names. Future plans. A secret credit card she used to buy him clothes. A watch I had complimented weeks ago, he was wearing it now. She called him my fire escape. He called her my favorite sin. I copied everything. Screenshots. Audio recordings. Metadata. But then things got complicated. One morning, I woke up to find her tablet wiped. Factory reset. Like someone flipped a switch. The software was gone. All the backups. Encrypted. I checked our shared cloud, files missing. She knew. Or someone tipped her off. My gut said it wasn't her. She wasn't tech-savvy. But Chase? He looked like the kind of guy who bragged about crypto and had guy who knows a guy energy. I lost days' worth of messages. I still had some screenshots, yes, but the deeper thread? The connecting tissue? Gone. And then came the second blow. I overheard a phone call. She was in the kitchen. I was walking past the hallway. She thought I wasn't home. Yeah, I talked to the lawyer, she said softly. He said if I can show emotional instability on his part, it strengthens my position. No, I'm not afraid of him, but it helps. I'll figure it out. I stopped breathing. She was laying the groundwork. For what, exactly? Divorce? Full asset control. Suddenly this wasn't just about betrayal. It was about survival. She wasn't just cheating. She was preparing to bury me. That's when I made a call I never thought I'd make. To Ryan. Old friend. Ex-cop. Now a private investigator. We hadn't spoken in 3 years. Not since the bachelor party he almost got arrested at. But when I told him everything, he didn't laugh. He didn't even ask questions. I'll help, he said. Just don't do anything stupid. He meant, illegal. I didn't make any promises. Within 3 days, Ryan had more than I could have hoped for. Hotel receipts. Credit card traces. GPS data. Even better. Chase had a wife. Haley. Photography business. 2 kids. Smiling holiday cards on her Instagram like nothing was wrong. Now I had a nuclear option. But I wasn't ready to press that button yet. I needed more. That's when Ryan said something that changed everything. You know they've got an LLC together, right? What? Yeah. A fake one. Registered to a P.O. box. Opened 3 months ago. Joint name. He's listed as CEO. She's listed as advisor. I nearly dropped my phone. So this wasn't just emotional. It was financial. They were planning a future. Hiding money. Running expenses through a fake business. I felt sick. But also, sharper. They thought they were smart. They weren't ready for me. I began building a folder. Not just for divorce. For destruction. I wasn't interested in just leaving. I wanted them scorched. But that's when my own plan nearly fell apart. One night, Ryan called in a panic. Logan. We've got a problem. What kind of problem? Someone came to my office. Asking questions. Tall guy. Gym rat build. Claimed he was looking for a missing friend. It was Chase. I know it. Did he see anything? No. But he's sniffing. You've got to move fast. Then came the second hit. I got a text from an unknown number. You're not the only one who can dig, Logan. Careful where you step. Attached was a photo of me leaving Ryan's building. They were watching me. My hands went cold. The plan I was building, it wasn't a secret anymore. If I moved wrong, they'd flip it. Make me the villain. I realized then, I was in a war. Not of fists. Of leverage. And I had just lost the element of surprise. But I wasn't done. Not even close. I adjusted. I pulled back. Let things cool for a few days. And then, just when they thought I'd gone quiet, I made my move. They thought I'd back off. That I'd get spooked. That one blurry photo of me leaving an investigator's office would make me fold like a bad hand. But they forgot who they were dealing with. I don't bluff. I reload. After that warning text, I went dark. No more digging. No more calls. I shut down the cloud folder. Removed Ryan's number from my contacts. I even skipped the gym for a week, just to stay invisible. But behind the scenes, I was building the real plan. I wasn't going to just catch them. I was going to corner them. And I knew exactly where to start. Haley. Chase's wife. I found her photography studio. Small, clean, in a downtown strip mall. Her portfolio was all families and newborns. Smiles and sunsets. She didn't know her husband was a snake. Not yet. I showed up late Friday afternoon. Didn't bring photos. Didn't bring a USB stick. Just one manila envelope. She answered the door in jeans and a hoodie, hair up in a messy bun. Tired eyes. Kind eyes. Hi, I said, keeping my tone calm. I'm not here to sell anything. I just think you should see this. She didn't let me in. Just took the envelope. Flipped it open. Inside, 3 things. A hotel bill in both Ashley and Chase's name. A printed text thread. A picture, Ashley in a red robe, feeding Chase strawberries in bed. Haley stared at the page. Didn't speak. Then, is this real? Yes. She looked up. Who are you? My name's Logan. Ashley's husband. Silence. Long cold. And then, quietly, I knew it. I knew it. She didn't cry. Didn't scream. Just nodded. Then asked, what do you want from me? Nothing. You deserve the truth. What you do with it, is up to you. That was it. I turned to walk back to my car. Before I got in, she called out. Logan? I turned. I want to help. We met again the next day. Coffee shop. Corner table. I laid out everything. The fake LLC. The deleted messages. The lawyer calls. She added her own intel, shared accounts, strange withdrawals, sudden business trips. Together, we rebuilt the timeline. They weren't just cheating. They were planning a life. And we were just the scaffolding they meant to kick down once they were done climbing. Haley had an idea. She'd post the first wave. Nothing too dramatic. Just enough. A subtle, heartbroken post, a family photo with a caption that said more than the image ever could. Turns out, I wasn't the only one in the picture. Some people take vows. Others take detours. It hit like a whisper, and a hammer. Within hours, friends and family started messaging her. Quietly. Supportively. Confused. And somewhere out there, Chase saw it. And panicked. I didn't need to watch him spiral. Just knowing he was starting to sweat was enough. That night, Ashley confronted me. She didn't ask how I knew. She went straight for it. You've been spying on me. I looked at her. Calm. No. I've been watching you destroy us. Her eyes narrowed. You're trying to ruin me. No. I'm letting you do that yourself. She scoffed. You don't have anything. I slid a folder across the counter. Neatly organized. Labeled tabs. LLC documents. Transfers. Hotel bills. Texts. Receipts. She opened it. Her face changed. Slowly. Like someone realizing the water around them is rising. This won't hold up, she said weakly. Maybe not in court, I said, leaning in. But it'll hold up with your parents. Your boss. The board of directors at your firm. The PTA. She said nothing. I added, I haven't sent it. Not yet. And then I gave her the only warning she'd ever get. Walk away clean. No smear campaign. No lawyer games. Or this. Goes everywhere. She didn't respond. But she stopped calling her lawyer the next day. Chase, on the other hand, did the opposite. He showed up at my job. Again. This time, not to play tough guy. He wanted to talk. Said I was being unfair. Said I was dragging innocent people into this. I just looked at him. Innocent? He said, Haley didn't deserve this. I stepped closer. You're right. She didn't. Neither did I. But you? You deserve everything that's coming. He clenched his jaw. You think you've won? No, I said. I haven't even started. They didn't go quiet. They struck back. Fast. Dirty. Surgical. It started with a rumor. Small. Whispers in the office kitchen. Raised eyebrows from management. Someone said I had a temper. Someone else said I'd been unwell since the separation. Then HR called me in. There's been a complaint, the director said. Anonymous. Alleging aggressive behavior outside of work. I froze. He slid a printed email across the desk. Attached was a picture, me outside Ryan's office. The same one Chase had sent me as a warning. Framed as me hiring someone to intimidate an ex. The tone? Concerned. Softly accusatory. Like I was a ticking time bomb. I left the meeting with hands shaking. It wasn't just a threat anymore. They were trying to erase me. Paint me unstable. Dangerous. A man spiraling out of control. Chase wasn't just playing defense. He was going for character assassination. And worst of all, it was working. Haley messaged me that night. Something's wrong. Chase changed all the account passwords. Even the kids' school logins. He's panicking, but he's covering his tracks. She sent a voice note next. Chase. Yelling. Paranoid. Accusing her of betrayal. He knew we were working together now. And he was starting to snap. The next day, Ashley went nuclear. She posted a long, saccharine caption on social media. A black and white photo of her looking out a window, like a war widow. Sometimes the person you love becomes a stranger. Emotional abuse doesn't always leave bruises. Protect your peace. Comments poured in. Support. Sympathy. Ignorance. People didn't know the truth. They only saw the optics. I was now the villain in a story I didn't write. And for a moment, I cracked. I sat in my car for 2 hours after work. No music. No calls. Just hands on the steering wheel, thinking. Maybe they win. They had louder voices. Shinier lies. Maybe the smart move was to walk away. Burn the folder. Disappear. But then I remembered something. One of the documents Ryan had sent, buried deep in a subfolder I hadn't reviewed fully. It wasn't from Ashley. It was from Chase. A private message. Sent to another woman. Timestamped during the peak of his affair with my wife. I opened it. And froze. It wasn't just flirty. It was a recruitment. He was asking this woman if she wanted to collab with him on content. Implied, explicit content. There were photos. Screenshots. Proof of him cheating on Ashley while she was cheating on me. And she didn't know. Not yet. I knew exactly what to do with it. I compiled everything. Organized. Timestamps aligned. Labeled folders. Then I sent Ashley a single message. Check your boyfriend's DMs. You're not the only one he played. No reply. But 10 minutes later. Her story was gone. Deleted. Next came Chase. I didn't confront him. I sent the screenshots to his employer. No context. No caption. Just the truth. And then, silence. For 12 hours. Until Haley messaged me again. He's done. Suspended. Internal investigation opened. Sponsors pulled out. Just like that. Their castle of lies cracked. I didn't celebrate. I didn't cheer. I just sat in my kitchen, lights off, staring out the window. Not because I was broken. Because I was finally breathing again. And for the first time in weeks. I knew they were scared. Chase disappeared. Not metaphorically, gone. Deleted his socials. Stopped showing up to the gym. The guy who once strutted around like a shirtless god now existed only in blurry memories and cached Google images. Word spread. His name. Tainted. His brand. Dead. His sponsorships. Pulled, like plugs from a dying patient. Haley. She didn't stop. She made sure everyone knew. The irony? Ashley was never his endgame. Just one of many. A stepping stone. A fitness client with benefits. And now. She was alone in the fallout. It took her 4 days to reach out. Text. Then another. Then a knock at my rental door. I didn't answer the first two. But the knock. I let her in. Not because I wanted to hear her out. Because I wanted to see how she looked now. She walked in like she was still owed something. Arms folded. Lip glossed. Trying to look together. But her eyes betrayed her. Red. Tired. Edges cracked. She didn't sit. Just hovered near the counter like she didn't belong anymore. We need to talk, she said. I said nothing. She shifted. Look, I made mistakes, big ones. I lost control. I was stupid. Still nothing from me. I never meant to hurt you like that. I laughed. Quiet, bitter. You meant to lie. You meant to sneak. You meant to replace me. You just didn't expect it to blow up in your face. Her face twitched. You don't know how lonely I was, she whispered. I do now, I said. I watched you fix your loneliness by becoming someone I don't even recognize. She walked toward me, eyes glossy. I'm not asking for us to fix this. I'm asking for peace. For maturity. Maturity? I repeated. You called me abusive. You tried to destroy my job. You framed me like a lunatic. I panicked. Chase, he said, he made me think you'd turn violent. I didn't. But I could've. I took a step closer. Instead, I picked up every piece of proof. I buried your boyfriend. And now I'm going to take what's left of your little empire and turn it into ash. Her voice rose. You're being cruel. No, I said coldly. I'm being exact. That's when I pulled out the folder. The one she'd seen before, but now twice as thick. New additions. Financial transfers through the fake LLC. Screenshots from Chase's DMs with other women. Her messages calling me emotionally unstable in a private Facebook group of divorced women she joined before the affair started. She stared at it like it might explode. What is this? This, I said, is Exhibit A through Z. She blinked fast. Are you filing? I nodded. Full divorce. Evidence-backed. Clean split, but I'm going for every dollar I can trace. And if you try to fight it, this goes to your job. Your parents. The media, if I have to. Her shoulders dropped. For the first time in this entire mess, I saw it. Not arrogance. Not guilt. Not even anger. Fear. Real, visceral fear. I stepped back. Let it sink in. This isn't revenge, I said. This is accountability. She left without another word. Didn't slam the door. Didn't scream. She just walked out like a woman who'd finally realized the fire she started was going to consume her too. And I sat down, opened my laptop. And started drafting the final paperwork. Filing wasn't as satisfying as I thought it would be. There's no cinematic music. No dramatic signature. Just a sterile office, a woman named Linda with a tight bun, and a pen that didn't write the first 2 times I tried. But when I finally signed that petition for divorce, I felt something shift. Not release. Readiness. My lawyer was a woman named Olivia. Sharp. Clinical. Dead-eyed in the best way. She looked at the folder I brought her, flipped through the tabs, and said one thing. They picked the wrong man to underestimate. She built the case like an architect. No emotion. Just leverage. Financial abuse. Hidden assets. Reputational defamation. She lined up every screenshot, every transfer, every fake LLC detail like dominoes. They'll come crawling, she said. But don't mistake desperation for compromise. 3 days later, Ashley reached out again. Different tone this time. No accusations. No guilt trips. Just cold professionalism. Let's be adults about this. I want to settle clean. No drama. Translation, I'm cornered, and I want to salvage what I can. I didn't reply. Let Olivia handle it. Then came the first proposal from her side. 50/50 asset split. No spousal support. No mention of fraud. A mutual, non-disparagement clause. I laughed when I read it. Like she wanted us to pretend the house didn't burn down. Olivia sent a counteroffer that felt like a verdict. And then we waited. But something didn't feel right. I knew Ashley. She didn't lie down easy. So I called Ryan, my quiet ace in the hole. Keep watching her, I said. She's too quiet. He did. And 2 days later, he sent me a file. Bank records. Transaction patterns. And one name that didn't belong. Melissa James. I didn't recognize it. But the transfer amounts? Familiar. Thousands of dollars sent to Melissa's account from Ashley's personal card. When Ryan dug deeper, the truth surfaced. Melissa was Ashley's college roommate. Hadn't spoken in years. Until now. Ashley was using her as a proxy. A funnel. Hiding liquid assets in someone else's name so she could claim she was broke during proceedings. She thought I'd given up. She thought she could quietly bleed the system dry before the lawyers caught on. She thought wrong. We confronted her at mediation. Neutral setting. Long oak table. Bottles of water and polite fake smiles. Ashley showed up in a navy blazer, no makeup, trying to look professional. I didn't speak. Olivia did. She laid out the folder, again. But this time, with a new tab. Melissa James, hidden accounts. Ashley went pale. Very pale. Where did you get that? She asked, voice barely holding. Olivia didn't blink. Doesn't matter. What matters is intent. And fraud. And we have both. Ashley didn't speak again. She just sat there, breathing through her nose like she was holding in a scream. The mediator suggested a break. I didn't take one. I just leaned in and whispered, you thought I'd stop. You thought I was soft. But this? This is me gentle. That night, I got an email. Not from Ashley. From Melissa. Just 2 words. I'm sorry. And attached? A full breakdown of every transfer. Time. Amount. Who initiated it? I smiled. Not because I was vengeful. Because the mask had finally cracked. The numbers weren't just damning. They were final. Between the hidden transfers, the false LLCs, and her attempt to shift money into a ghost account through Melissa, Ashley had buried herself. My lawyer built a case around intent to defraud. Her lawyer tried to spin it as emotional confusion. Didn't work. In the next meeting, Olivia handed over a new version of the agreement. My terms. Asset division shifted in my favor. No spousal support. She'd walk with what was hers, no more, no less. And a clause. If she speaks publicly about me or the case, she forfeits any further settlement. Her lawyer tried to argue. Olivia didn't flinch. Take it or we go to court. And trust me, he has more. Ashley signed the next day. No eye contact. No handshake. Just trembling fingers on paper and silence that said more than any apology ever could. I won. On paper. On record. But not in public. Not yet. See, Chase still hadn't faced the fallout he deserved. Yes, he'd been suspended. Yes, his gym rep was shot. But there were still people, who saw him as the misunderstood other guy. The fit savior. The escape. The lie. And that's when I got a message. Haley. He's talking to clients again. Spinning it like you went crazy. Like I overreacted. You still got that stuff? I did. The folder with his messages to other women. The business messages with Ashley planning money movement. The smirking hotel mirror selfie where he held up a bottle of champagne like he'd just conquered something. I'm tired of silence, Haley wrote. Let's end him. I asked once, are you sure? Her reply. I gave him years. He gave me shame. I want my name back. That was all I needed. The post went up on a Thursday night. Haley's account. Real. Calm. Devastating. Photos. Screenshots. Timeline. No rage. Just facts. This is the man who told me I was paranoid. Who told my husband's wife she was his forever. Who asked 5 other women to film content with him behind my back. And at the end. You don't get to build your body on lies and call yourself strong. Real strength is telling the truth. The internet caught fire. People shared it. Commented. Screenshotted it to death. His name started trending, for all the wrong reasons. Fitness forums tore him apart. Old clients came forward. One even said he'd flirted with her 17-year-old daughter. The gym cut him loose officially. His small sponsorship deals cancelled within 48 hours. He posted a statement full of passive voice and pity. Mistakes were made. Boundaries blurred. I'm taking time to reflect. Nobody bought it. Not anymore. Ashley tried to reach out after that. 3 missed calls. 1 voicemail, please, can we talk? This got out of control. I didn't respond. What was there to say? She'd gambled everything on a man who couldn't even stay loyal to a lie. And now, she was left holding the ashes. That night, I sat alone on the rental's tiny patio. Cool air. No noise. I pulled up the post one last time. Read the comments. Not out of pride. Out of closure. And somewhere between the outrage and emojis, I felt it. Not victory. Peace. The kind that doesn't need applause. People think revenge brings closure. It doesn't. It brings silence. And silence can feel heavier than rage ever did. The week after Haley's post, everything went still. No more texts from Ashley. No sightings of Chase. Even my lawyer said the other side had gone quiet. The case was done. The damage, dealt. And I should have felt free. But I didn't. Not yet. I started waking up before my alarm. Sitting at the edge of the bed, staring at the floor. Not sad. Not angry. Just, emptied. Like every battle had been fought, and I was the last man standing in a city made of dust. So I got in my car one Saturday. And drove. No GPS. No playlist. Just muscle memory. And somehow, I ended up outside the house. Our house. Still painted that same off-white she loved. The porch light was on, even in daylight. A "for sale" sign leaned crooked on the lawn. Wind had knocked it halfway over. I parked across the street. I didn't plan to go in. But I did. The realtor had left the door unlocked for a showing. No furniture inside. Just echoes. The hallway felt shorter than I remembered. The kitchen smaller. Every room buzzed with ghosts. Laughter. Arguments. Late-night takeout. Birthday candles. In the bedroom, the carpet still had the dent where our nightstand used to be. In the closet, a single wire hanger swung like a pendulum. And then, in the guest room, I saw it. A mirror. Small. Round. Cracked in one corner. Propped against the wall like someone meant to throw it out but never did. I walked over. Picked it up. Looked. And for the first time in a long, long time, I saw me. Not the man she cheated on. Not the man who plotted revenge. Not the man who lost himself in screenshots and bank statements. Just me. Older. Sharper. Clear-eyed. A little more dangerous. But still standing. I left the mirror behind. Let the next owner decide who they see in it. As I walked out, I didn't look back. The house didn't belong to me anymore. The version of me that lived here. He was gone. And that was okay. That night, I slept without waking up once. No dreams. No noise. Just breath. The new place smelled like drywall and freedom. No candles. No perfume. Just clean air and quiet walls. It was small, 2 rooms, barely furnished, but it was mine. No memories hid in the corners. No history sat in the drawers. I moved in with a mattress, a coffee maker, and a single box of clothes. And for the first time in months, I didn't feel like I was carrying someone else's life on my back. Mornings came easier now. I started running again. Just a mile at first. Then 2. Then 5. Every step burned, but it was a good burn, the kind that reminded me I still had legs, lungs, and a pulse. I wasn't trying to impress anyone. Not anymore. I just wanted to feel like I belonged in my own body again. I rejoined a gym. Not the old one. Not his. Some quiet place across town. No influencers. No ring lights. Just clanking weights, old school machines, and people who didn't talk unless they had to. I liked that. I could move. Sweat. disappear. Until one afternoon. I didn't. She was stretching near the dumbbell rack. Headphones in. Ponytail. Gray hoodie. Looked familiar, but I couldn't place her at first. Then she turned. "Logan," she said, smiling. I blinked. "Yeah. Wow. You look different. Good different." It clicked. Jen. We'd gone to the same gym 3 years ago. Shared a few laughs over busted treadmills and bad playlists. Nothing flirty. Just friendly. Human. We started talking. Light. Easy. Music. TV. Her dog's weird fear of mailboxes. She didn't ask what happened to me. Didn't prod. And I didn't volunteer. But somewhere in the middle of a dumb story about protein shakes, she laughed. Not politely. Genuinely. And I did too. And for the first time in what felt like years. I didn't feel like I was pretending to be okay. I left the gym that night with sweat in my shirt and peace in my chest. Not because I'd met someone new. Not because anything happened. But because I remembered what it felt like to be seen without suspicion. To be more than the scar someone else left behind. At home, I showered. Made tea. Opened a book. And smiled. Not wide. Just enough to feel it. Like muscle memory coming back after an injury. It's strange what peace actually looks like. It's not champagne. Not applause. Not fireworks in the sky or slow-motion scenes from a movie. Peace is smaller than that. It's waking up and not dreading the day. It's going to sleep and not replaying the worst moments like a highlight reel. It's standing in your kitchen at 7:42 a.m., drinking coffee you actually picked for yourself, in a place where nobody ever lied to you. It's quiet. And that's what I had now. I started building routines again. Cooking for one. Reading more. Going to bed early because I wanted to, not because I was avoiding conversation. Bills got paid. Plants got watered. My fridge didn't echo. Little things. But every one of them felt like reclaiming a square foot of who I used to be. Somewhere along the way, I stopped checking her socials. Stopped Googling Chase's name. Didn't even think to ask mutual friends for updates. Because why would I? I already knew the only part that mattered. They weren't mine to carry anymore. And then, one Thursday morning, it happened. An email. Subject line. Please read. From her. Ashley. I stared at it for a full minute. Not because I wanted to open it. Because I didn't feel anything. Not anger. Not curiosity. Not closure-seeking desperation. Just, nothing. Still, I clicked. It was long. Winding. Apologetic. Full of what-ifs and "you didn't deserve that." She talked about regret. About being scared. About thinking she wanted more, only to find out more wasn't better, just louder. She even wrote this. You were the only real thing I had. And I broke it trying to chase an idea of myself I didn't even believe in. It was the most honest thing I'd ever read from her. And I didn't reply. Not out of spite. But because I didn't need to. That story was over. Later that week, I packed the last box from my rental. Moved into a brighter place. Bigger windows. Cleaner lines. Less past. I carried the boxes myself. No help. And with every trip, I felt lighter. Like proof that healing doesn't need witnesses. That first night in the new apartment, I sat on the floor. No furniture yet. Just a beer in one hand, and a playlist humming through my phone. I scrolled through old pictures. Not of her. Of me. Before it all. And I saw something in my own eyes I hadn't seen in a long time. Steadiness. Not fire. Not rage. Just a man who survived being broken, and chose not to stay that way. I raised my bottle to the ceiling. Not in celebration. But in recognition. To the man who got buried under someone else's story. Dug his way out. And started writing his own.